What if they just started or decided to just bring bring back physical bondage, physical slavery? Mm, like somebody like Trump will be able to do that. And I'm starting to really think that he's going to be president. And, a lot of times they already know who the president's going to be anyway, way before our votes are even counted. But, the validity they're giving to him, he's definitely almost certain he's going to be president. And it's a shame. And Trump would do something like that. He's about money. He's definitely has some issues with different ethnicities outside of his own. Um, but there was a study that was done by the Navy, and on systematic white um, um, systematic racism and stuff like that. I forgot the name. I was trying to figure out remember what the name of the study was. But anyway, the study was about asking white folks if uh, if they basically began to round up black people and do them like like Hitler did the Jews, rounding us up and took us away. How would they feel about it, and would they have any feelings about it? And the vast majority, there was more who said they wouldn't feel any way about it. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. And I'm pretty sure some of these people, they're not all like, oh, just extremists. These people are people you work with, people, you know, they won't care. They don't care about us. They don't care. They never have cared. They never have cared. We've gone through this type of situation, but differently, all throughout history since we've been in physical bondage. We had white people, the Quakers, and while we was in physical bondage, and they treated us well. I guess better than what other slave owners did, and they tried to do what they could. And then you had the civil rights movements. I mean, you have NAACP and all that other stuff, and you had the '60s, the '70s, and then you have now. And everybody now is like everybody wants to have amnesia, like, oh, this is new. And and I say that because people act like, oh, all people aren't, all white folks aren't bad, or there's no plot to keep the black man down, so to speak. Just me looking very quickly at like how many people, black people that they elected to Congress and to different high positions, Supreme Court judges and things like that. There was like one or two, like prior to like 1895 or something like that, and then there was this big gap for 30 years. I think either for a congressman, and then like basically almost over a half a century for a congressman. So or a judge or something like that. Anyway, the point of that is there was a defranchising going on. Okay, it wasn't like black people weren't trying to get the same thing. We're trying to get people into these political positions so that then we'll get some justice. Well, we already know, like, we get people into these positions and we call them sellouts, but really they just get in the game and they realize that there's nothing you can do. They're just like going to somebody else's house and trying to take over their house. They already got things planned up, set up, everything. There is no way to especially if they don't want to change how they're running their household. You cannot change how a person is running their household if you in their house. And Realistically, black people need to start looking at it like that. It really, really, we no matter who we put in office, no matter what we get as councilmen and things like that, even if they wanted to change things, it's so embedded and so corrupt and so not for the people anymore. And even not even for white people. It's about business. I mean, it's across the board that it's futile now. Racism will not stop. The injustice, none of this will stop. The killings won't stop because they want to desensitize people to seeing black people murdered. Okay? Just like how they didn't care when we were being murdered as slaves and things like that. They really didn't think of nothing of it. They're trying to get the mentality back that way. So, and you ask yourself, why would they want to do that? Okay? Now, what if, like, all of a sudden there was a interruption in the news and they were like, due to the fact that there was like, this is your president, Trump. Let's say if it was Trump. Due to the fact that attention black people, due to the fact that you have not advanced in any technological way, your educational value, you do not value education, your test scores are rapidly declining, the vast majority are on welfare and produce babies at a fast rate, then you guys can support them. We will not carry you no longer. We are left with no other choice but to remove you from the general population. All blacks will report to the designated camps in their area to receive further orders. The only blacks that are excused are those in the military and law enforcement. Any blacks that do not comply will be terminated immediately. Oh, that won't happen. Do you not really? Somebody would say something. The United Nations. All this time, they're in on it too. Quiet as it kept. China, no, they're not going to do nothing. They're opportunists. They're not. They're opportunists. Russia, they're not going to do. Don't nobody care about us. No one's coming. Not even out of the sky. No one's going to come to our aid. Everybody's profiting off of melanated people, whether it be on the continent of Africa or here. Black man can't get hired even with a degree. I know somebody right now used to cut my hair. He went and got a degree. He applied 70 different places. No one wants to hire him. And he does have a black sounding name, but he has a degree. So y'all, that pull yourself up by the bootstrap, that's bullshit. That's a lie that they fed y'all to keep y'all to keep working hard and thinking that one day, it's all about because we don't work hard enough. I read this book, this slave narrative, and I don't know where I put it at. And, it was parts in there that, that he was talking about how they was working, and he was, if I just work hard, if I work harder for my master and I show him he can trust me with his stuff and I'm going to be free. I'm this and that. And we've been doing that for a long time. I need black people to wake up. We need to be accountable for what we're doing. We need to figure out, we need to wake up to what is happening. We need to really, really start focusing on us. Okay? Because we is all we got. And I say is. We is all we got. Okay? They divided us to conquer us.